I'm Neil, and I'm the teacher.
And I'm Sean, and I'm the deal maker.
Together,
We're the Rise Guys.
Welcome back to the Rise Weekly webinar. I am Neil Fawcett. Today we are walking into a 1965 bungalow and uncovering the hidden hazards that can end your real estate career. Let us dive in. Okay, picture this. You're walking into a beautifully staged 1965 bungalow with a super eager buyer. Everything upstairs is absolutely pristine. They're already picking out furniture. But here's the thing, your real test as a professional, the literal test that decides whether you actually get to keep your real estate license, well, it isn't in that renovated kitchen. It's waiting for you downstairs. I want to put you right in the danger zone. You guide your clients down into the basement. You glance down and you notice the original vinyl tiles are cracked. You can see the old glue and the backing material underneath. So what do you do? Do you just ignore it? Do you tell yourself, hey, it's just an old floor and push to keep the deal moving? Listen carefully. If you do that, you are stepping right onto a career-ending landmine. As real estate professionals, we do not diagnose environmental hazards. We aren't scientists, but you absolutely cannot ignore them. If you suspect a hazard and you fail to act, you are exposing your client to severe health risks, and you're exposing your brokerage to truly devastating lawsuits. That brings us to our first major concept, the pre-1980 hazard trigger. This is your ultimate survival heuristic. For anyone preparing for the exam and frankly for your day-to-day practice in the field, you need to install a mental alarm bell. And the moment you see a property built before 1980, an environmental hazards checklist has to immediately activate in your brain. Why? Well, prior to the 1950s, lead was heavily added to paint. Then through the 1970s, the construction industry and government started restricting asbestos in residential building materials. By 1980, we hit the cutoff trigger. That is the year the bulk of these legacy hazards were phased out of residential construction. Add to that, lead solder in plumbing was not prohibited until 1990. So the age of the home matters enormously. Build date 1979 or older, your radar must be fully engaged. Let us dive into exactly what we are looking for. Alberta's invisible basement killers. Asbestos, radon, mold, and lead. First, asbestos. It's a durable mineral fiber, highly prized for fire resistance. When fully intact, it is generally safe, but look back at our scenario, those cracked vinyl tiles. When damaged, asbestos becomes what we call friable. Friable is a huge exam word. It means microscopic fibers become airborne, they get inhaled deeply into the lungs, and they can cause cancer. Hunt for it in old vinyl floor tiles, acoustic ceiling tiles, insulation, textured paint, and drywall joint compound. Next, radon. Write this number down for your exam, 12.4%. That is the percentage of Alberta homes with elevated radon levels. Alberta sits right in zone 1, the highest potential for this invisible, odorless, radioactive gas. Basements have lower air pressure than the surrounding soil, so this decaying uranium gas gets vacuumed up through foundation cracks into the home. Then mold. Mold is the ultimate destructive indicator of a deeper problem, and that problem is moisture. A musty odor or discoloration means you are likely looking at evidence of structural foundation cracks, poor exterior drainage, or maybe an unremediated flood. Finally, as we saw earlier, this is common in pre-1950s homes, but it can show up all the way to the 1990 cutoff for plumbing solder. Lead paint deteriorates into chips and dust. When kids or pets ingest or inhale it, it accumulates and causes devastating neurological effects. Moving on to the material latent defect rule. This is the law that ends careers. It is not enough to just know what asbestos or radon is. You have to understand your legal trap. A material latent defect is a hidden defect that a buyer would not easily spot, which significantly affects the property's use or value. Here is the absolute critical takeaway for the RECA exam. Listen up. You have a strict legal and ethical obligation to disclose all known material latent defects to all parties involved. It absolutely does not matter if you represent the buyer or the seller. You know it, you disclose it, period. So what elevates a normal everyday defect into a material latent defect? It must hit one of three triggers. Step one, it renders the real estate dangerous or potentially dangerous to occupants. Step two, it makes the property unfit for habitation. Or step three, it involves great expense to remedy, pull it all together, and go back to our cracked 1965 basement tiles. If those tiles contain friable asbestos, you have just hit all three steps. It is dangerous. It makes the basement unfit to safely occupy, and professional asbestos abatement is absolutely a great expense. Let us tackle the home inspector illusion and exactly why standard inspections are not enough. This is a massive rookie mistake. A lot of new agents think a standard home inspection covers everything. It does not. A general home inspector conducts a visual examination only. In fact, their contracts explicitly exclude hazardous materials testing. They literally cannot confirm the presence of asbestos, radon, or lead for you. To do that, you need a qualified environmental specialist. These are the folks who conduct phase 1 and 2 assessments, air testing, and actual lab analysis. As the agent, you must advise your client, and you need to do this in writing to hire the right specialist. If it is not in writing, you cannot prove you said it. Here is your ultimate professional protocol for handling pre-1980 hazards. Write it down, disclose it all, hire a specialist. If you observe a massive red flag like those cracked, glued down tiles, do not try to play scientist. Just document your concern, disclose the potential material latent defect, and provide your client with a list of qualified environmental service providers. Your job is to facilitate the trade safely, not to diagnose chemical hazards. Let me leave you with this. The next time you walk a client down the stairs into a pre-1980 basement, what are you actually going to look for? Are you just going to see a quick commission and blindly push past those cracked tiles? Or will you see the hidden risks, apply the rules of disclosure, and actually protect your client and your career? Master this concept, and you will not just pass the RECA exam. You will survive and thrive in the real world. New webinar summary every week. Subscribe so you never miss one.